Guys, it's been a few months since I've done a proper video, and that's the reason why I'm making this video too, is I want to talk about routine, the market, and everything like that too. So when you break routine, it's hard to get back into things. I've been talking about Flesh and Blood every day since I've stopped making videos, but essentially I talk about Flesh and Blood in the Salty Wall Discord, which I provide links in all my videos on how to join that. Highly recommend it. It's really fun to talk about Flesh and Blood, market, what everyone's buying and all that. I'm in there every day. But since I've made a video, I did a recording like 2-3 weeks ago of me getting my ass kicked and opening a Crucible War case against Dave. That was a lot of fun. But that's not really the content I'm making on this channel, even though that's fun to do that once in a while. I really like to talk about what's on my mind, what am I buying, how's the market going on, and all that, what am I collecting, what am I selling, and all that. So, since I've made a recording properly, I've went to New Jersey, which was tons of fun. I played in the Calling, did relatively well. I think I went 4-3, and I dropped out of the tournament to miss the last game because I was already out of it and I was kind of tired. Unfortunately, the gem system has some hiccups in it once in a while, and I got a loss on that, which hurt my elo ranking, but who gives a fuck at this point? It's fun, but I hate it when you get a loss even though you drop out. I wish they would fix that, but it is what it is. Vegas, I took a different role than I usually did. I helped run a shop there with Flesh and Blood and Seals. It was a lot of fun, very unique experience. Talking to people looking to sell their cards and buy cards at an event. I've done a lot of selling cards over the last few years over Facebook, eBay, TCG Player. It was interesting doing it in person as well. Now, one thing that was really beneficial of doing it in person was there's that Dragon Shield app that came out about 2-3 months ago. I think it sucks for inventory management, but it's good for scanning cards and quickly getting prices. So when you're vending in person or whatever, or just trying to find prices, it's really good to use the scanning part of the app. Everything else in it, I think, is pretty horrible, and they need to fix it. But I could go on a long other rant on that. But essentially, it's great to be able to scan cards and get prices quickly. Also, in the past 2 months, I moved apartments. Not a huge move, but I went from Bellevue to Redmond, Washington. And moving is a pain in the ass, especially when you had a lot of cards and all that. I had like 6 industrial grade shelving units I brought over here, tons of cards, boxes, and all that. When you have a big inventory, you got to really manage it, and it was a pain in the ass. So I got that over here. Really nice, have a new apartment. I actually got rid of my shelving. I have a lot more closet space. So now my apartment will look more like an apartment than it is a store, but I still have to finish getting it all set up. So that takes a lot of time. And also, like the past few months, I kind of lost my routine of playing Flesh and Blood. I used to play every week. But I played a few sealed games over the summer. Uprising came out, tons of fun. But I got my first Classic Constructed match in last week, and in like 2 months. I played Katsu, of course, because that's my go-to. And I played against Bravo. I lost. But it was a lot of fun just getting back into it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should try out some of these new Uprising cards in there. Maybe subs out Command and Conquer for like some of the new cards they have in Uprising, like the Double Strike or whatever. I haven't figured it out. But nonetheless, still love the game. Just been a little quiet for a little bit and trying to get back into this. So with that in mind I'm all set up now, start recording. But let's go ahead and just talk about the market a little bit, like what's happened in 2 months, where we're at, what's going on. So the Flesh and Blood FUD seems to be over. There was a store that was banned for providing false information. I don't want to go into who that is or what it is. You guys know if you know. I don't really care about it. But now they're not talking about Flesh and Blood anymore, which means the channel that mainly talked badly about Flesh and Blood every week is no longer talking about Flesh and Blood. So that's a less distraction I got to keep track of. I'm really happy about that. Other news is eBay taught TCG Player, which TCG Player bought CFB out. So lots of buying out going on. What does this mean? I have no fucking idea. But I know I use TCG Player to sell my cards. I use eBay to sell cards. I mainly sell graded cards on eBay, and TCG Player usually sell my not as expensive cards or sometimes cases here and there. Hopefully they integrate some better shipping capability or international shipping to TCG Player or some integration. But right now it sounds like they're going to be independently operated. So how does this affect us? I don't know. But the rates of selling are better on TCG Player versus eBay. So hopefully that doesn't get impacted. Other than that, I have really no other insight on that, and we'll have to see what happens. but I think it's going to take several months for the acquisition to take place. So everything in the market's currently down, but I can tell you right now is high-end cards are still selling well, uprising cards are selling well. So it's always good to have different assets in different markets, whatever. So I had tons of cards graded at Beckett over the summer, which is why I'm also selling a few cards online too, because same thing too, you always got to balance your collection. So whenever I make big purchases of new sets or new cards or whatever, I try to balance out what I put in for my personal income versus balancing out my collection and selling stuff like that. So if you see me selling some stuff, yeah, I'm doing that, but I'm also currently buying at the same time. I'm buying several thousand more Rainbow Foil commons and rares from WTR and ARC. I'm also buying more bulk. Bronson is the bulk king of all Flesh and Blood, but I want to have a decent position in it too. So I am buying a few of it now too. Not trying to compete with Bronson because I like the Rainbow Foils better, but I also want some non-foils. So I'm expanding my collection in that aspect as well. And then once I see people fire selling over the summer, I am buying up some of those cards too. I'm not actively hunting, but I'm still doing that. The biggest purchase I made over summer was probably about $6,000 in dragons. I bought tons of rare dragons and majestic Marvel ones. I'll make a video of all the dragons I bought like a week or so whenever I get them all in. But last week there was a sale on TCG Player for 10% back. I bought a lot of majestic Marvels then. They're pretty cheap. And then I bought the Rainbow Foil, I bought the rare ones. I'm they're like $25, $30 each. I thought they were too cheap. They're really cool. I didn't do mass box opening for Uprising because I moved. Didn't have enough time to do all that. So I picked up some dragons. I like them. They're pretty cool. I did open about 6 or 8 cases of Uprising myself, but I usually open about 50 cases, so it doesn't compare to what I usually open. But I still have more time to open it, or we had the next set coming out in fall, and then my apartment should be set up by then to do my bigger openings again. So we'll see about that. So what's really interesting is I think spring, early summer, Monarch cases were about $650, $550 a case. But then when that store I mentioned earlier got banned from Gem System, they decided to dump their cases for $350 each, which has really hurt the market because the cases are now $400-ish on TCG Player for Monarch. But it's not just because that guy dumped. He doesn't affect the market that much. But whenever you see people dump prices, it affects people's mindset and stuff like that. And plus, people have been dumping over summer anyways. So you have that. Chain got Living Legend. And then Prism is like on the grasp of getting Living Legend right now. So I've always been a fan of Monarch, and I'm going to say right now too. I think right now these prices Monarch are great to buy. Once you get a new Shadow Runeblade or Light Illusionist or some Light or Shadow heroes that affect the Monarch card pool, I can see those cards really rebounding. I think Husk specifically might be a good target, which I'm going to pick up some myself too, is because there's really no Shadow hero using it besides Levia, which she has a cult following. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's massively played as Chain was. So once we get that, I can see prices going back up too. Everfest started off really strong earlier this year, but with the looming unlimited potential on the horizon, I think that's affecting people from wanting to buy more Everfest right now, because if you keep seeing the prices of Everfest pretty low for first edition, and then you keep saying, okay, well, Everfest coming out in fall, it's been pushed back to spring. I'm sure James White has a reason for keeping the unlimited version potentially out there. Maybe it's correlated with unlimited and all that. But without any further news, all that, I think Everfest is just going to stay down in price until we get more news on unlimited or how Everfest cards can be better utilized in upcoming sets. So I have faith in Everfest. It's probably a good buy, but I'm holding off on buying any more Everfest right now until I hear more news about unlimited or how those trinkets, potions, everything else can be used in the set. So we'll be waiting and see on that. I still love Everfest. It was tons of fun to open. I think I opened 200 plus boxes of it. But nonetheless, though, I'm holding back on that one. I'd rather get more Monarch, Crucible War, Welcome to Wraith, and Arcane Rising than I would Everfest right now. Tales, I don't know what's going on with Tales right now, but the cards that are popular in Tales right now are Frost related, specifically Blizzard and Channel Lake Frigid, I believe. Those are two cards popular because you have Islander in a new set, but it'll be interesting to see if there's a set dedicated to elements, and if so, I can see Tales going back up and Monarch too. but we have to make sure the rest of the cards are utilized, not just the Frost ones. So I don't know what's going on with Tails. I already have position in Tails, Everfest, Monarch anyways, so I'm not actively buying those. But something to keep in mind is you might want to have your carts filled up with whatever cards you're potentially targeting when news comes out more of Dynasty coming out this fall. So we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, mainly is I'm still focusing on Rainbow Foil Commons and Rares set 1 and 2 because I think those are really, really strong long term. Those have been very limited impact by the drop in card prices too. So that's why I buy a little bit of everything. Like I love the high end stuff, really love it. I mean, I got a bunch of 9s next to me right now, just chilling. Got, some mask right here. I was sorting. I need to scan these cards into my collection. So I love the high-end stuff. Let me pull this up again because, can't just flash a mask. It's really freaking cool. So got tons of those high-end cards, but I try to get a wide variety of them too because that way I'm positioned in any market. Even like a heart, even though it's down right now, like a 9 heart, those still sell pretty well too. So I have a few of those as well. So not that I want to sell too many hearts, but I personally have my 9.5 collection. So I always try to determine what I want to keep for my collection, what I'm willing to sell, what I want to buy with it. If I get the money, what I'm doing with it. And right now is if I get the money, I'm rebuying stuff I think are good prices. I could potentially liquidate in the future. / I want to keep my personal collection. So quite a few things going on, a lot of balancing to do. Right now is not an ideal time to sell. It's a great time to buy. But at the same time too is if you are selling, try to sell things that have been minimally impacted by the market. So that's what I'm doing, a few things. And mostly doing it because I had a big grading cost. So I'm trying to balance out my, personal costs and collection costs and all that stuff. So next video I want to talk about is the dragons because I bought so many of those. I want to go over that. I've also bought some other collections from Taiwan. I bought some other collections from random people fire selling online. So I want to go over some of my purchases soon. That'd be great. Also I'm not going to Road Nats. That's coming up end of September. I did not play in the Road Nationals season this year because of move and just life happened and all that stuff. But I will be traveling to Worlds, which is in San Jose. I don't think I'll do a shop, but I might. But I think I'd rather play in the calling or just hang out and meet all the other content creators over there. I have not really decided my plans for Worlds, but I know I will be down there. I lived in the Bay Area for about three years, so nonetheless, no matter what, I'll be at Worlds. Road to Nats, I don't think I'm going to be there, but I got some people from Seattle Salt showing up, which would be great. And then recently, there was a tournament in Portland hosted by Fable Hobby, and that went really well. A person from Seattle Salt, Dexter, he won. He was playing the Viserai and took the tournament. And I believe Michael won the Battle Hardened the day afterwards, also from Seattle Salt. So our Seattle Salt team's still going strong. Even though I haven't been actively participating in it, our team members are really good and playing a lot. So I plan on getting them a nice jersey for Jersey to play. It's not New Jersey, sorry. They're playing in North or South Carolina, I forget which state. And then the Worlds, so we'll have some representation there. But nonetheless, guys, I'm always active in the Discord channel. Really fun to chat in there, talk about what we're buying, what are people bought, what are people sold, what are deals are going on. It's called Whale Street, but the Salty Whale Discord. So I'll provide a link in there, and always there to chat, ask questions, whatever. Lots of good people in there. So anyways, guys, keeping this video kind of short, but I'll be making content weekly or bi-weekly from now on.